not it also because that our data is faulty, the information gathering is faulty? Because if our data collection is accurate, voter registration audit has occurred, we may not have up to 93 million registered voters. We will not be saying, INEC says 87 million people have collected PVCs. How do we know they are even right with that 87 million? I mean, who is querying and knowing that it is indeed 87 million? Because INEC may be doing it on its own. Nobody is looking, so they can decide to give us any number. And nobody is asking that question. But we are now asking that question. So if you have reliable data as to voter registration, accredited voters or whatever, then we are able now to justify and say, okay, voter turnout is 24 versus this is a bit fair than the bogus numbers. I hope you all understand what I'm saying.
Voter turnout is a fair representation, which is why they should be using voter turnout rather than registered voters.
To plan.
The voters to plan, because it's actually the ballots counted.
Even if you double it, for instance.
Let's say you even go all in and you double it.
Of 60.
Exactly.
It
still won't get you to that.
See, to the question of where else is INEC getting their response, what they said was, well, the federal government is going to give us money, and then there are development partners who are going to give us money. How much they gave you? Who gave you money? What you use that money for? There's no accountability.
Now, according to INEC's data, INEC's budget breakdown, let's take a look at this angle you've talked about, the international cooperation and cooperation. Yes, I'm seeing 583.65 million naira.
Billion or
million naira. Do you want to talk about that?
First off, that's the most innocuous, most least understandable title you can give to an expense. What does international cooperation and cooperation mean? What does it mean? Are you saying you're paying for some kind of cooperation? Or what kind of cooperation are you talking? We know by experience that international development partners do come to INEC and say, we support you with this. But that's not an expense for your budget. That's not a line that should be part of your budget. That's a credit line. That's something coming into you. So when you say international cooperation, what does that mean? It would make sense if maybe they had ECOWAS support for security. We know that didn't happen, which would have made sense as an expense given the proportion of policemen to Nigerians. So if you had come out to say, for this election, as an ECOWAS country, we have come together, just part of that collaboration, we would say, that expense. But now we have, only INEC can explain what international cooperation means, because and this is the thing. This is what we mean about proactive disclosure, about transparency and accountability. You've got to be able to say things that we don't have to ask you. Everybody knows just the international cooperation. But what does it mean in the context of your budget for elections?